feedback, any feedback you may have, what the film makes you think about. Don't know, maybe some of you may recognize faces and places, of course.
Times have changed, the places we eat have changed, but the people haven't changed.
So do you all think that if this film was being made today, the response would be as candid?
Yes,
I think so.
Everybody thinks that, okay.
Yeah, I think I can understand perhaps why somebody would come here. And I think that anyone that comes here and speaks to the workforce would get an honest opinion.
We've been fighting the same battle for the same length of time, and the issues are almost exactly the same. The only one that's changed is the competition issue. Instead of just being UK based, is now European based.
Would be useful for other people who are new employees to see, or the wider public to see. What do you feel about that?
Take a few clips of that. But most people really, I would have thought, are not going to be interested in the history. I would have thought most people are going to be interested in what's happening today. And the change in the mechanisation, the safety, which is a very good point, and also the environmental aspects as well, because there's one or two things in there that, even in Jamaica, which is where that was shot, it wouldn't be done today.
So that's another thing, the environmental aspect of it.
Oh yeah.
You've got the way the businesses have run, the way the businesses have changed, where you obviously Tate Lyle Sugar Co, West Indian Sugar Company, you no longer have that anymore, so that's now being controlled by other people, probably the West Indian governments, so that causes problems. But then you've got the very nature of sugar refining, which hasn't changed very much at all, only some of the technologies.
Okay.
So the place has changed. The people have changed, certainly the numbers of people has changed enormously. The kind of jobs that they did then as opposed to now have changed enormously.
The management's accent is slightly different to what it was in most of that film, but some of the attitudes are still the same.
Yeah. He was saying that the management now haven't got time to go around and meet the workforce. It's even more prevalent today.
Any other thoughts?
Just the fact of just how labour intensive, certainly our side of the operation used to be compared to what it's like now. That's just so few people by comparison around now than what it used to be.
Yeah.
It would have to work like hell.
Those things that you've just mentioned, the kind of changing nature of work practices and how some of them are the same, I could see how those would be useful perhaps for new employees, maybe. Do you think a wider public would be interested in that film or the other two films? You know, your family, your friends, people you don't know who you live near. Do you think that would be of interest to anyone?
Just understanding the history of it, there would be some interest in it.
Add on as a sort of B film, before the main film in cinemas, but extend it into the question of cane versus peat and supplies for your company.
The fact that 85 to 90% of the sugar consumed in Europe is beet sugar hasn't changed. And we're right in the middle this week of the same battle.
So something contemporary added onto it. That's interesting. Okay.
Other countries' growth and development. You might not always think that when you go to a supermarket and buy granulated sugar, but it's quite a useful sort of reminder.
What about the value of the film itself? I mean, there are some quite stunning images there. The colour is quite impressive.
A completely different approach to it, I think. It was quite different visually.
There's the girl in the office, and she's basically saying that, I wouldn't like the repetitiveness of working on the line, and she's writing the same thing at the top of every single memo, leaf of paper as she's saying this,
The history of British industry and iconic industries, and they can look at Tate Lyle and see that, this refinery's been here since 1878, so it's of historic importance.
Scholars would agree, it was certainly showing a positive story of how Britain is working in the world post-Empire, but also justifying the trade links within the Commonwealth and how vital those all are. There are many people that would have lots of questions around it, but isn't that part of the intention of the film?
As you mentioned, it makes Ghana look really nice, doesn't it? Yeah, at that time. Back in the cane fields, and the point made about how the estate workers were enjoying their
Happily engaged.
Happily engaged
Yeah.
is the expression, that, and there's a direct correlation between that and fair trade today.
You know, you could stop and chat to somebody working or whatever. And it's just the same as it was 40 years ago, which is nice. To me, I think it's nice.
If you got up and went, I'd say, where are you going? Nice to meet you.